What a massive week of football we have coming up. From February 10th to the 12th, 2026, we've got huge games in the Premier League, the Copa del Rey, and pretty much everywhere else. And with so many matches crammed into just a couple of days, trying to find the right angle, well, it can be a total minefield.
So that's the real question, isn't it? How in the world do you find that midweek edge? You've got team form, league position, injuries. It's so easy to get completely lost in all the data. Well, the source material we're digging into today actually has an answer for that. It argues that success isn't really about luck, but about having a blueprint, a strategy that's built on finding clear, repeatable patterns in top-level football. So let's break it down. So what is this blueprint? Think of it as a method for looking at these games by focusing on a few core strategic ideas. It's all about spotting the real signal through all the noise of weekly stats and media chatter. So it really comes down to four simple but powerful ideas. First, you've got your home fortresses, teams that are just almost impossible to beat on their own turf. Then there's elite away form, backing those top clubs who just know how to get the job done on their travels. Third, identifying the clear mismatches in quality. And finally, looking for gold trends, especially in games where the stakes are super high. All right, let's see how this all plays out in the real world.
First up, let's dive into Tuesday's action, where we kick things off with two absolutely massive games in the English Premier League. First on the list, we've got Chelsea hosting Leeds United at Stamford Bridge. This is one of those classic fixtures between two clubs with totally different styles and, let's be honest, wildly different goals for the season. And right away, this one perfectly slots into that home fortress idea we just talked about. The source makes a great point. Chelsea aren't just good at home. They are specifically dominant in these midweek games. They mix that rock-solid defense with a really clinical attack. And that right there is the key insight. So when you put all that together, the blueprint points to a pretty clear outcome, a controlled 2-0 win for Chelsea. And as an alternative, over 1.5 goals makes a lot of sense, just banking on that home dominance. Okay, the other huge game on Tuesday sees West Ham take on Manchester United. And this game, well, it showcases a completely different pillar of the blueprint. And this is where we see another one of those core principles pop up, elite away form. The analysis really zooms in on Manchester United's specific strength right now, which is just how effective they are on the road, especially against teams outside of that top tier. It seems they've really found a system that clicks away from home. And the result of that logic is a predicted 2-0 away win for Manchester United, with over 1.5 goals as a solid alternative, which really reflects just how clinical they've been on their travels. Okay, let's shift gears to Wednesday. And the theme for Wednesday is, well, it's all about the big guns. We're looking at games where the powerhouse teams are really expected to flex their muscles. And really, you couldn't ask for a better example of a power play than Manchester City at home to Fulham. This match is a textbook case of that home fortress idea and the clear mismatch principle just working perfectly together. Yeah, this quote from the source just nails it. It really highlights how City are pretty much invincible at the Etihad when they're not playing another elite team. It's that combo of complete ball control and a relentless attack that makes it an almost impossible task for a team like Fulham. So with that kind of overwhelming advantage, it's really no surprise the prediction is a professional, confident 2-0 win for Manchester City. No frills, no drama, just a superior team getting the job done on their own turf. All right, on to Thursday, and this is where things get really interesting. The whole dynamic changes because we're talking about high-stakes games now. The pressure is on, and that completely changes how these games are likely to play out. And the one that jumps right off the page is this absolute monster of a clash in Spain, Atlético Madrid versus Barcelona. And believe me, this isn't just a league game. This one has a different weight to it entirely. See, the context for this game is just everything. This is the first leg of a cup semifinal. The stakes are immense, and that away goals rule, it often forces both teams to be a bit more adventurous. And this, right here, is where that goal trends principle really comes into play. The source suggests that the high-stakes nature of this cup tie is just going to lead to an open game. You've got Barcelona's absolutely lethal attack going up against an Atlético side that, yeah, they're passionate, but they have shown they can be a bit leaky in these huge matches. So all signs point toward a really exciting game and a predicted 2-1 away win for Barcelona. And the high chance of goals makes over 1.5 a very strong alternative here. It's a prediction driven completely by the context of the competition.
Phew. Okay, so we've walked through the blueprint, we've seen it applied to some key games. Now, how about we pull it all together so you have it in one place? Let's make this easy.
And there you have it, the full midweek cheat sheet. And you can see, alongside the games we went through, the source applies the exact same principles to the other key matchups. You see the pattern, right? Backing home fortresses like Chelsea and Celtic, relying on that elite away form from teams like Arsenal and Liverpool, and of course, expecting goals in that high-stakes Copa del Rey clash. It's the whole blueprint in a single snapshot. So there it is. The blueprint pretty much paints a picture of a week where the big clubs take care of business. But football's never that simple, is it? So I want to leave you with a question. Looking at that list, which one of these powerhouses do you think is most likely to slip up? Something to think about. Thanks for watching.